What is up, Texas hockey fans? Welcome back to Clean Sheet of Ice. On today's episode, we are going to preview the Dallas Stars versus the Edmonton Oilers 2.0 Western Conference Finals rematch of last season. The Stars have a chance to get revenge. The Oilers have a chance to move on and try to capture that cup that they just barely missed out on in Game 7 last year against the Florida Panthers. It's going to be an awesome series. These two teams are very much different, but all the same at the same time, heading into this series as they were last year in the Western Conference Finals. Man, I don't know if I'm ready, but I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be ready Wednesday. I'm going to figure this out. This episode's coming out Tuesday. We're recording it on Sunday, the day after Game 6 for the Dallas Stars. But welcome back to Clean Sheet of Ice, the Texas Hockey Podcast, brought to you by Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. We love Zing Zang over here. Zang responsibly. And shout out to Prize Picks. Use code Apollo when you sign up and get up to $100 matched on your first deposit. Prize Picks is a daily fantasy app. We love our sponsors. We love our new listeners. Shout out to Finland for jumping on the Clean Sheet of Ice Texas Hockey Podcast train. We love you guys. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already on our YouTube and any podcast platform where you listen to Clean Sheet of Ice. I'm your host, Tone Strankman, joined always by Dom Garcia. How we doing, bud?
Man, you said you don't know if you're going to be ready. I'm telling you right now, I will not be ready. This is my first year kind of I followed last year as a fan, but this is my first year kind of watching every single Stars game possible. And just the ride that this season has been, from being one of the hottest teams in hockey post Four Nations to ending the regular season not being able to do. We scored an empty net goal and lost a game during at the end of the regular season. Like, that's how down bad we were. And then to go through a 7-game series of hell with Colorado, to now get here and really just outman Winnipeg. And now we got the Edmonton Oilers, probably Canada's best chance at a Stanley Cup. A rematch from last year. You tweeted out, I think, almost every game. I might throw up. I will throw up at some point in this series because it's things are going to get tight.
Yeah, it's Clean Sheet of Ice versus Ryan Whitney going into this one from Spittin' Chicklets. It's the Stars versus the Oilers 2.0, playing against the best player in the world and one of the best goal scorers in the world, another one of the best players in the world, Leon Draisaitl.
Yep.
They've got dudes. They got dudes. And something we didn't have last year heading into a series against the Oilers was a dude, an absolute dude. We had all the depth in the world. We had scoring kind of on every line, but the depth is even better this year. And we added a guy named Mikko Rantanen into the mix. Oh, man, this series is going to be a dogfight. It's going to be tough. It's the Western Conference Finals. It's never easy in the playoffs. But the deeper you go, the harder it gets. And the Oilers, they got the best of us last year, 6 games, outplayed them by a mile in Game 6 last year and just could not score. And it was just tough. It's tough to see those boys go home for the summer in the Western Conference Finals, especially when you know, man, you're only 6 wins away from a Stanley Cup. Like, it's just tough. It's tough. And he had some injuries. He had some things. Everybody's banged up at that point. And everyone's probably banged up right now heading into the series. Like, no one's 100% anymore. And the series is going to be a tough one. But the Dallas Stars, they start Wednesday night in Dallas. Get home ice advantage against the Edmonton Oilers. You got the Game 1 boogeyman off your back in the last series. Like, maybe that propels you into a better series to starting-wise against this team. And you need 4 wins. That's all it takes. Is 4 more wins to get to the Stanley Cup Finals, and then it's another 4 after that. It's going to be a tough journey. But Stars versus Oilers, Wednesday night. We're going to get into it now. This team. Man.
Just every single matchup presents its own intricacies and storylines. And I think this one, it's so much fun because last year, we played well. It's just we didn't have a Mikko Rantanen, man. And this year we do. And I remember, I literally, I think it was on Monday of earlier this week, I watched the rewatch. I rewatched all the videos of when the Rantanen trade goes down, and TSN's like, oh my goodness. How did we let the Dallas Stars get an absolute star in Mikko Rantanen? Like, they're already too good. Why are we doing this? Carolina? Like, it was just like pure chaos. And then to see the way he's been playing in the playoffs for Dallas, like he's picked up right where he left off. That's playoff Mikko. And we're going to need playoff Mikko because playoff McDavid is at that same level of just a nightmare to defend.
It's terrifying, and it's even more terrifying that they won the last series basically on their depth and not Draisaitl and McDavid against Vegas in 5 games. Like Vegas kind of fell apart. Mark Stone gets hurt. They couldn't really do anything right, and it was a bad series for them. And Edmonton won games like 1-0 and 2-1 and 3-1. Like they're not just blowing you out of the barn in that series against Vegas. So I'm curious to see how they match up against the Dallas Stars this year. Obviously, the Stars won the regular season series 2-1, with 2 games being 1-goal games, 5-4 and 4-3. And then the first game was 4-1 early in the season, like the first week or so of the season against the Stars. And it's going to be interesting. It's going to be my first time seeing McDavid in person. I missed that first week of the season. I think we had a bunch of people in town, so I didn't get to go to all the games that first week or two and missed that game. So I'm excited to see McDavid in person, excited to see Draisaitl in person. It's always a cool experience when you get to see other players in person, especially because, like you said earlier in the season when we watched Logan Stankoven against the Vegas Golden Knights, you were like, okay, now I get it. Like Logan, he was a good guy. Like he did a lot of good things on TV, but then when you watch it in person, it's different. And Logan Stankoven is not Connor McDavid. So that's going to be interesting. The Oilers scoring with depth, though, is a little bit scary in that series against Vegas. I don't know if Vegas was the strongest opponent. I picked them to win that series. I keep picking against the Oilers, and I keep doing it, and it's just a bad idea. I don't know why I keep doing that, but now they have depth. Plus, they have 2 of the best players in the world on their roster. It's going to be hard-fought battle for sure. But I think the Stars are up for the challenge. They got Miro Heiskanen back, and Miro Heiskanen's back. I'm not saying he's just like on the ice. He played 24 and almost 25 minutes last night, and he was playing on power play 1. He was doing all kinds of things. He looked like Miro Heiskanen again. And then Thomas Harley has 11 points in this playoff so far as a defenseman, 4 goals, 7 assists. Like the boys they're primed for this matchup, and they understand what happened last year is that they just stopped scoring against goaltenders that aren't as good as theirs. They just need to create more shots and play on their toes a little bit more. And then you just got through the President's Trophy winner. You got through one of the deepest teams in the Western Conference with Colorado in 7 games without Miro Heiskanen or Jason Robertson. Now you got both of them back. Man. It's going to be a fun one starting Wednesday night.
Yeah, and I feel like this run has kind of prepped us for an Edmonton Oilers team. So in the Colorado series, to go against that power play is a nightmare, and we held our own. Like our PK unit did their thing, especially in overtime. The Winnipeg series, a team that physical and that system would wear out most teams. And they did not wear out the Dallas Stars. And so you combine those 2 things, and also the fact that really we don't have any big injuries. I'm sure everyone on the team is feeling some soreness around their bodies, but, to escape those 2 rounds relatively healthy is huge. And I think we're prepped for this Edmonton team. I don't know if this Edmonton team is going to be prepped for the Miro Heiskanen that we saw in the Winnipeg series, and especially the Thomas Harley, because we both know Peter DeBoer makes the great calls. I trust Peter DeBoer, but I would put Thomas Harley on that PP1. That's just me.
Yeah, and it was an interesting situation. Maybe they wanted to give a different look that they haven't given all series or all season for the most part since Miro went down, and maybe they're expecting Harley to come out there, so they're going to pay a little bit more attention to him. And then Miro comes out there, and it's a little bit different. He can skate it into the zone. Harley can too, but Miro's just a little bit swifter footed. I don't really know what it is. Like he's incredible. But yeah, they put him out there for about a minute and a half, and then Harley comes out and he gets the game-winning goal. But like you mentioned, the PK, Colorado went 3 for 22 in that series. 3 for 22. The Jets, if my numbers are right, because they didn't have a power play last night, they went 3 for 21. So can we do that again? Can we keep doing that, especially against this team? Because Colorado's power play is unreal. They were one of the best in the league. Edmonton's one of the best in the league. Can we just do that again? Because if you win the power play and the penalty kill units, then you're probably winning the series. And Pete DeBoer said it last night. We're recording this Sunday, May 18th in the morning. But he said it last night that the special teams and goaltending were exceptional and their 5-on-5 was good. the reason they won that series was because of the special teams and the goaltending. And I can't disagree with them because they were pretty red hot on the power play and they were red hot on the penalty kill the whole time, except for game 5 where they went 2 for 5. So it's not even like they blew them out of the water and scored 3 power play goals. They only got 2 out of 5. And that's going to be a major key to the series. It was a major key last year. The Dallas Stars power play went absolutely ice cold in that series against Edmonton last year. But we got a couple tricks up our sleeve. Cody Ceci, remember him from last year in Edmonton? He's on our team now. By the way, he was an incredible penalty killer. He was a great player for them in Edmonton last year. Now he's on our team. Miro Heiskanen and Thomas Harley, yeah, they're still there. We still got the best penalty killer in the league with Esa Lindell. Got the best goaltender in the league right now in the world with Jake Ottinger in net. And then we got arguably the best skater and the best point scorer in the world right now with Mikko Rantanen. He has the most points in the playoffs still. Like, got a lot of things going for you this time.
Yeah, and the thing that I'm going to be looking at is like, I really wonder what Peter DeBoer's defensive mindset's going to be with this series, because in Colorado he made Cale Makar a non-factor. Winnipeg, absolutely. Kyle Connor is a elite top 10 goal scorer. He was a non-factor, if we're being honest, in that series. So I think we could do the same, maybe not with McDavid, but with Draisaitl. If he stays quiet, it would be tough for Edmonton to win 4 games against Dallas.
Yeah, because you saw in the first series that Nathan MacKinnon had 7 goals. He had 1 goal a game except for 1 game. I think he didn't score, and the other one he had 2. Like, you didn't shut him down, but you shut the entire rest of the team down, especially Cale Makar. If you can shut one of those 2 guys down and just keep playing your depth and making sure that their depth scoring isn't killing you, like I know Ehlers and Niederreiter and all these guys for Winnipeg, they got it 1 or 2 in the series, and Kyle Connor only had 1 goal that whole series, I believe, and Scheifele, I think he had a couple, but you can shut one of those guys down, then you got a really good shot. This series is going to be incredible, but shout out to our sponsor, Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. We're going to do Zing or Zang. Zing for yes, Zang for no. Players versus players on the other side. And we'll start with the goaltending. Jake Ottinger versus Skinner or Pickard. Like, this is the easiest thing of all time. It's Jake Ottinger.
I'm taking Jake Ottinger versus the entire country of Canada. Like, it's Jake Ottinger. We don't need a wall separating the United States from any country. We just need Jake Ottinger in net.
He's been impeccable. And the Edmonton goaltending hasn't been particularly great, I don't think, this playoffs. I don't think Vegas created too many chances in that series with 5 games. Like, I watched most of it. It's the late night game, and it's not my game. I'm not going to stay up and just study that series if I don't have to. And it just didn't seem like Vegas was in sync really at all, and their offensive chances weren't crazy, and they should have won game 2, and they lost in overtime. And the one win that you get is off of Draisaitl's stick, like into the net. And it's just like, I don't know, weird series. But in round 1, the Kings scored 72 goals. It felt like they scored every game. They had a lead in every game. They were just scoring 4, 5, 6 goals a game. And if the Kings can do that, the Stars can definitely do that. There's no doubt in my mind with that. So goaltending advantage, obviously, zinging Jake Ottinger there. Next one, Evan Bouchard or Thomas Harley. They're both young defensemen. They're both arguably #1 defenseman. Obviously, we get Miro back, but I think Bouchard's more like Harley in that situation. Zing or Zang, Thomas Harley or Evan Bouchard?
I would take Harley because with Bouchard, he has to be the guy. There is no Miro Heiskanen on that side. With Harley, if he just stays calm and just waits for his opportunities, he's going to pick you apart. We need to start we have these discussions, but top 10 is already, I think, stamped for Thomas Harley. He's getting closer to that 7, 8 defenseman in the world talk. And he's not even our best defenseman. It's Miro Heiskanen. But I digress. I'm gonna take Thomas Harley.
All right, I'm gonna go Bouchard then. I'm gonna zing Bouchard just because he gets to play with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, and we don't have those guys. We have Mikko Rantanen, who is on par with those 2 guys right now in the playoffs, but those 2 guys are just different. They're so different, and he gets to be QB1 on the power play, and he's done a lot of really good things for that Edmonton team, and he's just been sick. I enjoy watching him play. Not going to enjoy watching him play for hopefully not the next 7 games, but the next 7 games in the Western Conference Finals. But I think Harley's right there with them. It just depends how the Stars play Bouchard and how Edmonton plays Thomas Harley or Miro Heiskanen, because they're kind of both on the ice at the same time right now. They've been playing together a lot since Miro came back. That's horrifying because, like, the thought is, if you have one of those guys on your team, you're like, we've got a fucking dude on the defensive blue line. Like, we've got a dude. And the Stars have both of them. They have 2 of those dudes, like 2 top 10 defensemen in the world. Miro Heiskanen's arguably top 5. Thomas Harley could be arguably top 5 next season going into it because he's having a great playoffs. He had a great 4 Nations. He's getting this national recognition now that everyone in Dallas knew about heading into the season. And he wasn't getting the praise, but now he's starting to get the praise. And 11 points through 2 series so far. It's tough. I'm going to take Bouchard, though, just because the rest of the team around him is just like what he plays with that top unit and that power play unit is just, he's insane. And he has a clapper. He's fast. He does all the right things. He does everything that Thomas Harley does. I'm just going to take him for a little bit of parity. We're going to try to keep that going. But the next one, Zing or Zang. I didn't write these down. I'm just kind of going off the top of my head. We'll do one more. It's going to be McDavid or Rantanen. Zing or Zang.
This is a good one because Rantanen has, without debate, been the man of the playoffs across the league. But the storyline and watching McDavid last year lose and watching him just a fire was lit in him. We know the talent is there. It's talent that we probably won't see again for another 20 years. You're going to get to see it in person. Everyone tells me about how fast of a skater he is. And with the goal scoring ability and just the elite, you've got to be born with talent. I'm going to take McDavid.
Yeah, I don't hate that, but I haven't seen McDavid take over a game yet in the playoffs. And I saw Mikko Rantanen take over a series. Yeah. Not just a game. He took over a series. And then the next game in round 2, like, has 2 hat tricks. He had 4-point periods in 2 games back to back. And I'm gonna go Zing with Mikko Rantanen for this playoffs. Like, I'm not saying that's overall, and they're 2 different types of players. Like, Mikko Rantanen's more of a power forward possession type guy. Connor McDavid is just gonna fly through the zone and just do trick shots on you. Is terrifying. But they're not the same player, but they do a lot of the same things. They are able to control the puck. They're able to keep defenders away from them. They do it in different ways. But I'm going to zing Mikko Rantanen because he's been quiet the last 2 games. Just has. And I think he doesn't go quiet for 4 games again. I think he'll have another explosion in games 1 or 2, and we'll just be talking about Mikko Rantanen on this podcast again in Finland, and all of our new viewers in the country of Finland. Love you guys. But yeah, I'm going to zing Mikko Rantanen there. They just do different things they do the same things different ways. And I just haven't seen McDavid just take over a game right now in the playoffs through 2 series. I've seen Mikko Rantanen take over a series and a game. So I'm going to do Mikko. Zing. Shout out to Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. We love Zing Zang Zang responsibly. This series is going to come down to the nitty gritty. Dom, what is your series prediction? Who wins and how many games?
You know, we're starting this series at home, and also their goaltender is not our goaltender. So with just that alone, I'm going to Dallas Stars, but I'm going to Dallas Stars in 5 games. I am going to Dallas Stars in 5 games. I have them winning the first game of the series, and I have them just quieting Connor McDavid at the end. Very much, basically, this Edmonton-Vegas series, I think, is how this Dallas-Edmonton series will go.
Wow, 5 games again. He did it against Colorado, and I was like, that's kind of weird. And then we got to 2-1, and I was like, maybe so. It might be happening. And then I've been right. I'm not going to humble brag, but I've predicted both series correctly. Stars in 7, Stars in 6. Yeah. So I've had that correctly. This team, I've said it on the last podcast. I've said it all season. This team, since the Mikko Rantanen trade, and even before then, even when they got Granny and Cece, this team just seems different. I don't know what it is. Can't tell you. They just seem calmer. I understand that the mission is not done. They're not celebrating at all. No beers in the locker room again after Game 6. I looked in every trash can. Couldn't see one. Stars are going to win this series in Edmonton in 6 games. That's what I got. I just think that the PK is on a different level right now, and the power play is something that we haven't seen in the last couple of years. I think it was 2 years ago when Jason Robertson had his 50-goal season that power play was just like almost unstoppable. Like Joe Pavelski was tipping in pucks. Jason Robertson was scoring at will. Rupe Hintz was doing it as well. Like that power play was insane in the regular season, and you didn't really see it in the playoffs. This year, the power play is a little gross for about 2.5, 3 months to start the season. You're like, golly. And then they claw their way back up into like 13th, 14th in the regular season. But their power play in the playoffs specifically has been absolutely unreal. I don't know the stats in front of me. I don't have them, but it's got to be close to 30% success rate on the power play this playoffs. And then their PK is, what is that? 6 for 43. 6 for 43 is the opposing power play against the Dallas Stars this postseason in 2 series. So if you can stay out of the box and then you can get a couple penalties on your side, because it only takes 1 or 2 for the Dallas Stars to get a goal. I just think the goaltending and the special teams right now is on a different level for the Dallas Stars than it is for Edmonton. I don't trust their goaltender enough. I think we can do it. I think it's just Stars in 6. I have a feeling Stars in 6, do it in Edmonton, and they move on to the Stanley Cup Finals. But it's a long way away, and you got to get 4 wins to get there. But I'm doing Stars in 6. You're doing Stars in 5. It's gonna be a fun series.
Absolutely. And one thing I'm just thinking about now is looking back on our last meeting with Edmonton. Did you notice how good Liam Bichsel looked in Game 6 versus Winnipeg? Like,
I've noticed Liam Bichsel in every game, but yes, Game 6 he looked awesome.
Yeah, and what was missing last year was a gigantic thumper and being physical and wearing down, beating down Edmonton. If Liam Bichsel can stay exactly what he's been doing in this playoff run, that's a factor that Edmonton was not used to when they played us last year. And I'm telling you, man, like, I know everyone's thinking this is going to be a 7-game series. Like, we are going to beat down Edmonton. We are going to slow them down. And when it's 5-on-5, nobody can hang with the Dallas Stars. Absolutely nobody. We have too much depth.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that was scaring me going into the series is that Edmonton's depth won them that series against Vegas. And I was like, don't like that. Don't like that a lot. Like, if it's those 2 guys winning a series, like, you can shut one of them down and you can probably win a series. But if their depth is going to score Corey Perry, the ghost of Corey Perry just lives on forever. The worm, he just keeps going. He's scoring goals. He scored 2 in Game 5, I believe, for him, or Game 4. I can't remember which one it was. But if you can just shut down one of those guys and keep the depth at bay, your goaltending and your penalty kill is going to succeed. It's going to be better than the other team. And it's a rematch, baby. And revenge is always sweeter when you get it the next year. So I know Edmonton has the experience. They've moved on past this round, this iteration of the Dallas Stars. This majority of the roster has not moved on to the Stanley Cup Finals. But I think this is the year. This is the breakthrough with Jamie, Tyler, Matt Duchene, all the old guys in the locker room, all the guys that have been to the Stanley Cup Finals. I know it's like Essa, Jamie, Sagan. I think that's kind of it. Like, I don't remember who else was on that. Miro, and it was the other one, and Rupe. So that's the last time that they went to the Stanley Cup Finals. I think this iteration of the team, you have a super duper star in Mikko Rantanen, and your depth is just unreal. Like Jason Robertson, Wyatt Johnson were your 4th liners last night, technically speaking. It's like, this depth is unreal. You got defensemen left and right where you didn't have that the last 2 seasons. It was like Ryan Suter and Yanni Hakanpää. Like, you don't have those guys on this team anymore. Lyubushkin is your Ryan Suter or Yanni Hakanpää, and he's been incredible this year. So Stars in 6, you got Stars in 5, and we'll be back to recap Game 1 after Wednesday night. On Thursday morning, we'll be recapping that, and it'll be up Thursday morning before noon, hopefully. And I'm hoping things go well. I'm excited. The boys get some rest. They're taking 2 days off, Sunday and Monday, and they're back to practice on Tuesday. I know Edmonton's got a little bit more rest, but that's okay. We're not worried about that. We got enough rest. We don't need too much. We're on to the next one. You're halfway. Western Conference Final starts tomorrow night, Wednesday night. I'm excited. Dom. I just am.
Yeah, no, I will throw up. But right now, I'm just enjoying the moment.
Yep. Take solace. We get to celebrate today. It's Sunday, May 18th. We get to celebrate today. Monday, we wake up. It's a new job. It's a new thing to be accomplished. And Stars moving on. Western Conference Finals rematch against the Edmonton Oilers this year, 2024 and 2025. We're doing Western Conference Finals 3 straight years, 4 and 6 for the Dallas Stars in the Western Conference Finals. Let's hope that they move on and get to the Stanley Cup Finals, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. But thank you for listening to Clean Sheet of Ice. Shout out to our sponsors. Zing Zang, you know, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. We love Zing Zang. Zang responsibly, and shout out to Prize Picks. Use code Apollo when you sign up. Get up to $100 matched on your first deposit. Prize Picks is a daily fantasy app where you hit more or less on every stat, every game, every night of your player. We love our sponsors. We love our listeners. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already on any podcast platform or our YouTube at Apollo HOU. Love you guys. We'll be back with another episode of Clean Sheet of Ice, the Texas Hockey Podcast, very, very soon.